All right, Escape Academy is underway. Right now, the run portion. Right now, we're at about 300 feet elevation. This is only about mile 2.5 on the run course. So you're hitting the highest portion of the run, 300 feet from flat sea level at transition. So in the first 2.5 miles, you're increasing to 300 feet, especially in that last half mile from the base of the Golden Gate Bridge up to right here. So that elevation gain might put you in the hurt locker just for a few seconds, but no, you've got an aid station every mile on the way out and every mile on the way back, because it's 4 miles out and 4 miles back, a total of 8 miles. But right here, right now, we're at 300 feet elevation. All right, so as you can see, we've got a few of our Escape Academy athletes going up the sand ladder. They're using the cable. It's a plastic-coated metal cable. You also have the wood stakes here. It's part of the race course. There's no shame in using this. Pull on the cable. Use this stake. It'll help you either way, whether you go over the left side or the right side. Also, a lot of these rungs right here, these wooden rungs, have been covered by sand, but try to hit as many of these rungs as you can. You want to be as efficient as possible. Energy return, that's what it's all about on running. So when your energy return goes away, when the sand is loose and your sand has your foot pushing back, that is not efficient. You want to try to hit as many rungs as possible. So get into a rhythm, swing the arms, the legs will follow. When you got to stop swinging your arms because of heart rate, you start to walk, don't be afraid. Use these cables. The pros do it, age groupers do it. There's no shame in it. It's part of the race course. All right, so on the run portion, on the way down, you'll be coming down to Baker Beach. You'll be on the bike path of the asphalt. So coming from the Golden Gate Bridge, down this road, you'll be on the bike path, all the way down to the beach. But on the way home, after you've done the sand ladder, you go up on the dirt path. So stay on the dirt path. Everybody will be going in the same direction uphill. Don't get too far left because there's a lot of poison oak out there. All right, so here we are at the top of the sand ladder, about 5.5 miles into the run. Make sure you try to hit as many of those wood rungs as possible. Much better energy return on the wood rungs. If you hit the sand, you hit the sand. About 300 steps on the sand ladder. So try to make as many of them as efficient as possible hitting those wooden rungs. Don't be afraid to use the cable, and don't be afraid to use the wooden stakes as well. So you've got 2.5 miles to go. You got about a half mile uphill, and then once you get underneath that Golden Gate Bridge, downhill and then very flat. So don't let the wheels fall off when you hit that bottom downhill after the Golden Gate Bridge. Just 5, maybe 10 minutes of flat running to the finish line. So you'll have a tailwind more than likely, but also when you hit those flats, the tendency is to slow down a little bit. Stay focused on that last 1.5 miles so that you don't slow down too much. All right, the run section of the Escape Academy. We've just done the whole 8 miles. We've gone out flat. We've gone up the stairs by the Golden Gate Bridge, along Land's End Trail, down to Baker Beach, along the sand of Baker Beach, up the sand ladder, and then returning back here. Keep in mind a couple of things. The only real flat portion of this run course is the first 1.5 miles out and the last 1.5 miles back. On the way out, you're going to be probably going into a headwind. You're going to see a lot of the pros and lead age groupers coming at you. You're going to be going out. Keep an eye out on the railing for other athletes coming down the hills and going up the hill as you're going up. Use those cables, use those posts. No problem, no shame. Turn around on the sand. Just be very efficient on the sand. Sand ladder, use the plastic coated cables, use those stakes that are holding the cables up, use those rungs on the sand ladder. Also, after you're done with the sand ladder, you still have about a half mile uphill until you hit the Golden Gate Bridge. You go underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, you go downhill. But remember, on the way back, you're guaranteed a tailwind, which is nice, But also, you've been going uphill, downhill so much, when you hit those flats, the tendency is to slow down a little bit. So don't let the transmission leak, don't let the wheels fall off. Maintain and stay focused. You'll hit that last aid station, brought to you by Sports Basement, one of our great sponsors. Thank you, Sports Basement. When you hit that aid station, you got about a mile to go. So be efficient. The crowd will bring you in. They'll be there to support you, cheering you on. Thousands of athletes in between the last mile and the Marina Green transition area. So we look forward to catching each and every one of you across the line, calling your name. Bring your family with you. It's a great event. This is the Escape from Alcatraz Triathlon, the Escape Academy. We're done with the run today. We're through with it. We'll be doing the bike later.